Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 277 of the RRBG podcast. My friends over at Kill Cliff make the best energy drink you can buy in the market today. Clean energy, none of that crap that they put in Monster or any of those Red Bulls. No sugar, just clean power for all the grind you're going to have to put in today. And if you're not grinding today and you just want to relax, they also have CBD drinks to help you recover from any injuries you may have, any kind of inflammation. Maybe you went a little too hard at the gym. CBD drink will get you right back on track. Go to their website, killcliff.com. Check out all their different flavors. My personal favorite Ignite drink is the Cherry Limeade. And in the CBD category, you have to try the Joe Rogan Special. It's the Flaming Joe Pineapple with Jalapeno. It's not that spicy. You just get a little bit of a kick at the end. It's delicious. Go to killcliff.com and tell them that RRBG sent you. This episode is also brought to you by our good friends at Saints Joints. Go to saintsjoints.com to check out all the options that they have. They have these amazing packages with pre-roll joints, which will have pre-rolls from either side of the strain spectrum, either indica or sativa, and they even have multi-strain collections. Pick up one of their amazing Book of Saints. They currently have 2 volumes, volume 2 being a special Halloween edition. It looks like the Necronomicon. It's amazing. They're currently available in Washington and Oregon and will soon be available in California. Go to saintsjoints.com and tell them that RRBG sent you. This episode is also brought to you by our friends at Thunderking Coffee. Thunderking provides organic, air-roasted coffee straight out of Costa Mesa, California. It's seriously some of the best coffee I've ever had. My personal favorite is the Positive Morning Attitude. I order 2 pounds of this almost every 2 weeks because I just can't get enough. But they also have bottled cold brew. They have their special California Christmas peppermint cold brew out right now. You can order it from their website. So go to thunderkingcoffee.com and check it out. Support small, independent businesses, people. In this episode, I talked to my homie, Hank Selva. He's played bass in bands like Let Live, The Human Abstract, and now he's going to be going on tour playing bass for the band Protest the Hero. We talked about him learning all the protest songs. We talked about how he got the opportunity. We talked about his career. We talked about old stories from Miami and touring with The Human Abstract and my old band. It was a lot of fun. I loved catching up with him. I hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure to follow him on social media at Hank Selva. Click subscribe and follow down there and the little heart and the little bell and all of the buttons. Help us get on the algorithm so that way people can see the episodes. And if you get a chance, support the podcast by checking out patreon.com/RRBG where you can get some exclusive content there. Cheers. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the RRBG podcast. I am here with my homie, Mr. Hank Selva. How are you, brother?
Salute, salute.
Salute.
I'm
yes,
doing...
brother. Salute, yes. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh.
Oh.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, got home a bit ago.
From work?
Got home. Yeah, I got off work. And Stephanie, my girlfriend, made a lovely meal, and they scarfed it down really quickly. And here I am, excited to finally, do this thing with you. And, was looking forward to it. So, yeah, man, it's been a good day. Glad to be home. And yeah.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it. I opted for Taco Bell today. It's like, fuck it, it's Friday, Taco Bell. They have this box with a bunch of shit in it. It had like a chalupa and a burrito. I'm like, whatever, give me that, because I was in a hurry. I had no time to cook. Done like 3 pods today. But yeah, I mean, diarrhea is coming for sure. 100%. I feel it inside already, just bubbling.
Let me know if you need to take a little break. It's all good.
No. I'm kidding. Dude, so for people that are watching and listening that aren't aware, you play bass. You've been in a few bands. Do you want to list them out for everyone?
A few bands. Well, the main one, of course, is the Human Abstract. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
the band that I started my career with. And then I filled in for the Buds and Let Live for one tour. And then now I'm preparing to embark on my next journey with the guys, my brothers in Protest the Hero.
Hell
So
yeah.
that should be happening in June. So not that far from now.
Yeah, I mean, have you started fingering?
Of course. Yeah, definitely, always. Yeah, no, once I got the invitation, I had to start because that stuff isn't easy to play. So,
No, yeah.
Yeah. But, no, I'm really excited about that. Really, really excited,
So how are you doing with learning the songs right now? I mean, how many did you know before you got the offer? Because I know that, when you know how to play an instrument, you tend to learn other people's music that you enjoy or that are friends. And you've been friends with them for a while, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've honestly before the invitation, I knew none.
Oh, okay.
I've been with the guys as far as like, I've worked merch for them. I've done stage management for them, monitor engineering. And finally, Tim gave me the call, like I think around August or September, and he was like, "Yo, we're putting up a lineup together, and we briefly like talked about it in 2018 when I was doing their merch for their Fortress run. But to be honest, like I was like, it's a little daunting, and especially for someone who hasn't played in a long time. But I told myself, you know what, this is the opportunity. So, I've been waiting for it, and I do miss playing. So I said, let's do it. And, from that point on, it's just, been working on the material. So.
And how are you doing it? Are you just reading notes? Like, can you read notes, or are you just watching videos and like kind of playing by ear?
Well, fortunately for most of the material is on Guitar Pro. So that's helped out quite a bit. There are some songs on the set that have been learning through just listening to the stems and just a lot of the tracks on iTunes and or through iTunes. So, but unfortunately, most of it is has been sent to me via Guitar Pro, which is great because that's how I learned and got used to the Human Abstract stuff when playing with them and doing the writing process with them. So it's something I already knew off the bat. Whereas it's funny because when I learned the Let Live stuff, it was completely like just a whole another beast because it's like two different styles. Like, well, the Human Abstract and the Protest, everything's like very like, what's the word?
Meticulous?
Yes. And at least no room for error on my part. But with Let Live, it was like, although I just because of the training I had, I was like, I had to play everything perfectly. I remember there was one rehearsal session where Jason was just like, dude, like, just chill, like, relax. Like, this isn't like prog heavy metal where like, just fucking have a good time. The most important thing is just to go crazy on stage and like have fun with it, And that's kind of like the approach I'm taking with like Protest too, because I mean, I've toured with those guys since 2011 and I've like pretty much seen the world with them. And I remember, although they are a very technical band, at the end of the day, like those dudes just love to have fun. And I have to like kind of tell myself that like, hey dude, at the end of the day, you're just having fun on stage, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, it's hard, you want to do well. Obviously you want to, meet the expectations of not just the band, but the fans that are going to be watching and listening. So, but it's normal to feel that way, but yeah, dude, you're going to kill it. You're a monster. That's the thing. People don't like, only like really, really proggy, nerdy dudes that I listen to, talk to are like super knowledgeable about the lineup situation at the Human Abstract. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like you and I, we known each other for a long time. We've known each other before you were in Human Abstract.
Yeah. Were you
doing lighting, I think?
Oh, no. That was Kroger. I was just a roadie. I was just a roadie. I was just like a tag along and just having fun and helping the band. And yeah, man, we met in, what was it? Met you in Florida.
Yeah, 2008, maybe 9.
No, that was 2006.
2006, Jesus. That was right at the beginning of when Dissever became a band.
Yeah, I think you guys were on a couple shows in Florida, no?
Yeah, we did a couple shows. We did a few shows with Human Abstract. But those are some good times. I was always that was one of the shockers for me because I've never experienced that. But just becoming friends with a touring band and having them stay at your house and then do shows. It's just it's not everybody gets to live that life. Yeah.
No, definitely grateful. And again, I could still kind of visualize or see the layout of that house. I think of myself having pretty good photographic memory, and I remember just playing the shows and then going back, and I forgot who. I don't know if anyone would cook, but we just have like a good time and just hang out. And
there was always barbecuing going on. Rue was always cooking up a steak or something. I don't know. Yeah, and then the tour took Mr. Rue from us, our bass player, left to go play with Look What I Did.
That's right.
And then you guys did a whole tour with him.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun, man. I mean, that whole period of my life I look upon very fondly. That's why every time I get a chance to hang out with you or talk to you, man, it's so exciting because it feels like family,
Oh, for sure.
When you have people staying at your house, it kind of becomes like family.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you took me to like one of many Cuban restaurants and or like spots in Miami, and man, great times. Especially it being like I look back on that year a lot because it's like the first year that I ever started touring, and it was just like a whole new experience, basically everyone I met that year, I think I still keep in contact with, maybe minus like the Drop Dead Gorgeous dudes. But
I forgot those dudes were there in the house too.
Yeah, and the Folly guys, but definitely guys in Look What I Did. You and Rue, of course, and of course like my band members. But,
I remember seeing those dudes. What was it called again?
Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Drop Dead Gorgeous, and they were like. Before the show, they were in the house doing like their hair stuff, and it was just like, oh my goodness, it's so much work, dude. I can't. Like, I'm grateful that I'm balding and I don't have to worry about manicuring my hair to go on stage. Like, fuck that.
Yeah, man, definitely.
So, what got you into doing that? Because it kind of sounds like the approach I took to join the beer industry, where it was like I just kind of started hanging out. And helping out, and then people eventually hired me, and that kind of sounds like what your approach for bands was like. Help them out, go on the road with them with whatever they need, then kind of move on to like helping with sound and whatever. So, what got you into that scene like that?
Well, actually, so I've known Brett, who's the drummer of the Human Abstract, since like I think 7th, 8th grade. Ooh. And him and I used to be in a new metal band together called Tripnotic, and we used to play at a friend at the time. His name is Mark. We used to play in his living room, and it was like a very like Deftones, Fear Factory. I don't know if you remember a band called Mug.
I remember seeing it, but I don't remember the music at all.
Right. So, but you picture Around the Fur, demanufactured,
frosted tips.
Yeah, that kind of style at the time. And we just became friends, and we played, and of course that didn't work out. And then years later, we kept in contact through AIM. And once he started,
AIM, you just dated yourself. Right. My goodness.
Hey, man.
AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah, that's right. So we kept in contact through AIM, and I remember he let me know that he was starting a band, and if I wanted to go check him out, hang out. And this was like around 2004, around that time. And yeah, we just go hang out and you know, I still remember I had another band at the time, a local band. We played like this backyard show, and that was one of like, I guess, Human Abstract's first, like, or at least a backyard show that they played too. And I just really liked his style, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go help out a lot more. Plus, like at that point, I was in school, and I was like, you know, I wanted to do like music business, and I was like, well, maybe I should go on tour if they offer me, just so I know what the business is about. If this is what I want to do. And I remember, yeah, they went to the East Coast and recorded. They recorded with. Oh man, come on now! I should know this. But
on the East Coast.
Yeah, North Carolina. He's in a lot of BT Bam records.
Jamie Keene.
Yes, thank you.
Jamie Keene.
So they went out there, and I remember they came back and they were all excited, and you know they did a couple tours, and then they got the summer bummer tour that got announced, and I was just like, you know what, hey, would you guys mind if I came on the road with you, just to help out? And yeah, no pay. I just pretty much volunteered myself, and from that point on, I basically became, you know, a touring dude, and yeah, that's how it all started.
Fuck yeah, dude! I mean, it's such a fun life if you can, you know what I mean. If you don't have tie downs like family, and even if you do, but you know, it's okay if you take some time off, but. When you're younger and you're able to do those kinds of things, just fucking, let's just go. Let's just hit the road.
For sure.
We'll figure it out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nowadays, I'm like, I think about that kind of shit. Like, what if I start a band? Can I go on tour? I don't know. I don't know if I can. I got too many other things going on.
No, definitely. Yeah. Like I would not want to sleep. Like it's crazy to think like, and you definitely would know this. It's like, you put yourself in situations where it's like, hey, can we crash at your place after the show? And then you would stay at a random person's house. Mm-hmm. Some of us would sleep inside the van. Some of us would sleep inside the living room, like on the floor. And some of these kids would want to party or like play or jam out in their home. And you're exhausted and you're like, man, I'm just trying to go to sleep because I have like a 400-hour, like a mile shift next day, you know?
Yeah.
So looking back on that, I'm like, now at my age, like, I'm like, yeah, no, and you know, definitely not.
Not from that level. Like if you're on a bus or something, or you know, a higher end van or something, yeah. But when you're doing the tough road where you're staying at people's houses, whoosh, oof.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm grateful, and it was fun, you know, because it was, you know, the age of like, used to just said fuck it. But yeah, definitely things have changed. So.
Well, I mean, what's the situation like with protests at this point? Like, how are you guys touring? Are you getting a bus?
Those logistics have not been answered yet, but, you know, definitely there'd be hotel rooms. Because even like on the last run that we did, of course we had a bus, and, you know, on certain nights we would get hotel rooms. Because again, like, you know, roadies at the point where, I mean, everyone in that band's at a point where health is like priority. Yeah. And, especially for someone like Rhodey who has to take care of his voice. So it's like, there's no room for like, you know, error or room for like him to even get sick or for him to like be in a situation where he's like putting his voice at risk, you know? Absolutely. So, it's a short run. So I doubt we're going to get a bus. Okay. You know, I would think maybe like a van and just drive to the next city and then just stay at a hotel room, and then just drive to the next city the next day. But again, I'm just speculating. I'm not 100% sure.
Sure. Yeah. Have there been talks about you maybe, you know, if this all works out, working on an album with him or anything like that?
Nothing
yet.
Yeah.
Too soon. No. Too soon to tell.
Too soon. Yeah. You know, I'm just like, again, I love those guys and, like, you know, consider them family, and, you know, like, I'm grateful for the opportunity that's given to me, and I can't really speak for the future. But you know, I'm just really excited about this one run, and you know, we'll see what the future holds.
For sure, man. For sure. And so what about, like, do you have like a day job? Like are they cool with, you going off for a bit and coming back? I mean, how's that going to work out for you?
It's a good question. It's a very, very good question.
That's my biggest concern if I were to go on a tour is like, well, what happens when I come back?
Yeah, no, definitely. Do you have a job when you come back?
Yeah.
No, it's my. So I work for AAA, and my bosses are very like they know what's up. Like, actually, I was supposed to. So the tour originally was supposed to happen in March, and I was supposed to fly up to Canada at the beginning of January for rehearsals. And everyone was made aware of it, and they supported the the run, and they're just like very supportive of like things outside of work that their employees do,
Yeah.
And so, like, I think if the tour was a month long, it'd be an issue. But since this one is just 2 weeks,
okay.
like it works out,
Yeah.
Because you have to look into like vacation hours and or if you have enough sick time or flex time to but from what I've heard, and I hope no one from AAA sees this, but I've heard it's really hard for them to like they don't like letting go of people unless like you really like mess up,
Sure, yeah.
So,
well, that's a lot of big companies like that. It's hard to. It's a lot of spent money that they have to put into hiring someone new and training them, and all that nonsense. Like, I know all about it, bro. It's my day job. That's what I do. I can't talk about it much, but I do train people, and it's rough. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. But that's why I also don't. I feel bad. I don't want to just be like, I gotta go for a month, man. See you later.
Yeah.
I can't do that right now.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, no. And it's I'm always transparent with them. And so they know that I'm going to be leaving in June for about 2 weeks, and they appreciate the heads up, and again, they're very supportive of my extracurricular activities.
Extracurricular.
So
it could be, principal whatever you want to call it, main course, yeah. If it takes off, it's weird. You see when bands kind of go away for a little bit and come back and start, and everybody's kind of at that stage right now because of the pandemic. Everybody went away for a couple of years. So all of the shows that I've been to have been slammed,
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to go out. Everybody wants to go see a show. So it's a good time to be hitting the road, I think.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. After not having much of a live entertainment kind of calendar or out there for like the last 2 years, so yeah, I agree with you.
How are you feeling during this whole thing? Like, I mean, were you fine in terms of financials? Like, because I know you were a while back training in the medical field, weren't you?
Yeah, that was the last time I held. Yeah, so I was. Well, this is way before the pandemic, and the last. Fortunately for me, throughout the whole thing, I was before AAA. I was working at a law firm, and we didn't close, so it was good having that kind of
income
coming in, and I was also working at 1720, which I still, I work at here and there, which is a great side gig. So I had that and the law firm, and then of course the pandemic shut everything down. So then I just had the law firm, and again, fortunately, I had that income coming in, and then I needed to make a change, and that's when I got hired at AAA, last July. But yeah, no, for me, it was, we're in a good spot. And, before that, when you mentioned the medical field, yeah, that was last time I worked in a hospital was like 2017. So
what happened? Why did that? Because, usually when you see people going into the medical field, like that's their life now, pretty much for the next 12 years, like they become doctors or whatever. So, what happened that you kind of decided to step away from that?
So That's a very good question. So, I think you have to say Protest the Hero happened again. So the guy, so the guys hit me up and they're like, hey, we're doing the Fortress run and would you be down to be part of the crew? And I was just like, at that point I was doing graveyards, a graveyard shift. I was a certified nurse assistant. So I was working the 312s. I was convinced that I wanted to be a registered nurse. So that was like kind of like I put myself through that position. So in like the tier of nurses, like at least here in California, we have like the certified nurse assistant. Then you could have the LVN, which is like the licensed vocational nurse, and then you can have the RN, which is I guess the last step, unless you want to go into nurse practitioner or other positions. But so I was like, all right, I'm going to be a CNA, and then from that point on, continue going to school and become an RN. But then at that point, when they hit me up, I was not loving it because of, I don't know, just the long hours. And
were you seeing gnarly stuff too, like just people injuries or whatever?
I mean, a lot of like nasty wounds. But let's just say a CNA does all the dirty work. So I'll let your imagination, run wild with that. But basically, I was doing all the dirty work, and it really didn't bother me. But I was like, man, you know what? Like, I think I want to go on tour again because I just have to know if this is what I want to like get, be stuck with.
Yeah.
And then actually after that tour with Protest, the guys from Echo Goblicon, I'm really good friends with them. They hit me up and I actually became their tour manager for the rest of 2018. So, and I love doing that, but, I think after that run, I was like, you know what, let me try to see what's up with, being at home. And
it's better than dirty work.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I could never be in that field. I can't really, I've had too many traumatic events that I can't handle, even like seeing live bleeding. Like when I see bleeding, I get nauseous. It's weird. And,
oh, wow.
I'm over, like I can't, like, it's not that I'm scared of it or like, oh, it's just, I look at it and I just immediately feel my stomach push stuff up and out. So I'm just like, well, I can't be in that. I can't. I think mostly comes from when my appendix burst. I woke up during the surgery.
Damn.
I woke up.
The anesthesia just wore off.
Yeah, I woke up and my guts were on my chest.
Oh wow! Yeah, that might traumatize you.
Yeah, dude. I just remember looking down like, oh, and passing out again. I guess they realized I woke up and they did another, little shot or something of the morphine or whatever they had me on. But yeah, they had to take everything out to clean me out because it burst.
When did that happen?
2004, 3, maybe. I don't know.
Damn.
Yeah, that was the worst.
Yeah, so that might have something to do with it. Yeah.
I've also broken plenty limbs. I've been in car accidents, and I've seen my bones sticking out of my body a couple times. So I'm just it's disgusting. I don't want to see it, and so therefore that career, I wouldn't be able to handle it, and I'd be miserable there for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Do you have that kind of like numbness now because you've seen the gnarly wounds and shit like that? Like, do you not care?
Yeah, I honestly, it doesn't bother me. Not to say like it doesn't suck while you're in that position, but I feel like I'm not, even for the future, because I've met so many RNs who started like their career like in their early 40s or mid 40s. Like I just feel that me kind of putting myself in or empathizing with the patients kind of like outweighs the smell or the blood, or like I really, the good days were great because I really like loved taking care of like my patients and making sure that they were they were, you know, comfortable and taken care of, you know, and especially like my girlfriend knows, like I have this like soft spot for like abuelas or old ladies who, you know, yeah, because I remember before my grandmother passed away, she had like dementia and I took care of her when like my aunt or my mom would like have to go run errands, and I just remember like seeing her in that state, and it was just like heartbreaking, but also like I was like, yeah, I don't want anyone like being alone or being in a position where like they're struggling or, you know, asking for help or being in a position where they're wanting help. So like, again, I loved like working with like patients and making sure that they felt secure and were taken care of.
Would you say that your experience with your grandmother is what led you down the road of trying to become a nurse?
It was a lot. It was my grandma. It was my cousin who passed away in 2011 due to cancer. You know, seeing how like the nurses would take care of her. I don't know. I feel like I'm really good at, you know,
taking care of people.
Sure that, exactly. Yeah. That's why the guys in Echo said I was such a good tour manager, because I was just like making sure that
they
were
care, you know?
Yeah, actually, yeah, exactly. So, so again, I'm like, who knows what the future, might bring up. But I was just burnt out at the time, and I was like, I needed to change, you know. But that's like a good kind of career to have, because it's there as long as you're able to work. You know, there's always going to be a need for like RNs, you know.
Yeah, and you've got the certifications and everything that you need to jump back in if needed. But obviously, the dream is to not have to need it. You know, do something. So if you were to get, let's say you do these protest shows, and someone sees you on the road, and they're like, "Hey, we need a bass player." What band of a larger size would you want to play for?
I can't even answer that right now.
Like, I'm talking stadium size. Like what happens if Korn needs a bass player? You want to go play for Korn?
Oh man.
I mean, how do you say no to that offer?
I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Who gives a shit if you like it or not? It's like, I'm gonna have to do that.
Dude, I love Korn. I mean, you kidding me? Like, to be able to rock a Ibanez, sound gear by my knees again, and I play. Yeah, actually, growing up, like Fieldy, Wright Martini from Mudvayne,
that dude's
Rex
such a
Brown,
beast, man.
Rex Brown were all like huge influences when I sort of started. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, if that opportunity, if Korn were to say, "Hey, we need a bass player
for like 3 months," you'd be like, "I guess so." I'll figure it out, because shit. But that happened to Ra. I don't know. Do you know Ra Diaz? He was in Suicidal Tendencies, and now he's in Korn. He's filling in for Fieldy.
Oh, right, yeah. That's who was. Yeah, I thought. Because we went to see Korn and System at the Bank of California Stadium.
Oh, with Russian Circles.
Yeah, not that long ago.
Nice.
And he had that kind of. I mean, if we were kind of far away, but you could also like mistake him for like a little bit of like that Fieldy look. But I mean.
Yeah, it's got the Suicidal Tendencies, the jersey and the shorts with the high socks, the LA Vato look.
Yeah.
I've definitely gone into like trying to figure out what I look like when I approach certain events now, because I always dress the same, but like I think I'm fully LA'd out now. I've got the tight black jeans. I'm not fully there yet. I need a leather jacket. If I can get a leather jacket, I've officially resigned from Miami life and become a Angelino.
Yeah. Yeah. We just got to get, dude, you have a Dodger jersey? We have to get you a Dodger jersey.
I need one of those. I got the hat.
Yeah.
My uncle loves the Dodgers. He gets season tickets and shit. He took me to go meet Puig when he was there because
nice.
When they were.
I think Did you?
I think
don't you have
I
a photo with
showed you
him?
the picture.
Yeah.
He, they knew each other because my uncle knew his family from Cuba, and he used to come over to eat at the house all the time. So like now he had that connection there, but now nobody wants Puig in their team.
Yeah, no, I think he's playing for the Korean League or something.
Yeah, what's going on? Like, at what point do you realize it's you and you need to stop being a crazy person?
Hey, man, I guess in every industry, some people are, they can't figure it out, or But actually, I thought about the question you had, and there is one battle I immediately say yes to. If Max Cavalera, Igor Calavera, and Andreas Kisser got together, sorry, Paulo, I would definitely say yes. I will play bass for Sepultura reunion 100%.
Oh.
I'm just a big Sepultura guy,
I couldn't tell with the tattoo on your forearm.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, my buds and I, we're going to the Calavera show. Okay. I think the brothers are playing at the Belasco in June, and
nice.
they're gonna be playing like Beneath the Remains album and Arise, I believe. I don't know if it's in entirety, but man, that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and they're working like I see Max working with people that you wouldn't expect. Like I saw him; he started a group with the drummer from Chemist, my buddy Zach. I forget what the name of the band is now, but it was him and Max and one more person. I forget who. But he's trying. I love that he's trying other projects, just like not sticking to like, all right, let's just do, Soulfly forever or whatever.
Right.
So I like that. So there's a possibility, man. You never know. You might start a band with Max.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Or if Gojira needs another bass player, it's fine. I'll do Gojira too.
Oh yeah, you gotta learn French though. You gotta learn French.
Yeah, true. Good point.
I hung out with those dudes at Dia de los Deftones in San Diego, and they had a French like skier just hanging around making jokes about his baguette all the time, and I thought he was American and doing a French accent as parody because he seemed to be doing it. Everything was a joke. And I felt I was cringing for the guys at Gojira, but that was their buddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just hanging out and making jokes and.
Oh my god, it was nuts. I was just kept talking about his baguette. It was and I'm not even trying to be. It's not me. I swear to God, I'm not trying to be funny. Like that was what was going on. I was just like, what the fuck? This is weird that it's happening right now.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Deftones, right? That's good. Thanks for bringing that up. That's a band.
Hello,
man.
I love you, Sergio, but what?
Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, I posted it up on my page, and like as just like, I don't know. For me, I'm like, I'm going to play for the Deftones, or they're going to make, hey, Henry, come play for us, right? But it's funny, the response I got was like, you should do it. You should do it. Oh, man. Yeah, definitely. I'm like,
yeah, dude. Of course.
Just let me
call Chino real quick.
Yeah, let me call Chino real quick, or Stefan, and,
Yeah, it's weird. Go on.
Go ahead.
No, yeah.
Oh, no, I was very, and I think that's one of my highlights in my touring career was like actually being able to open up for Deftones.
Nice, man.
And such great guys. And that was like little Henry in middle school and high school, just like living his damn dream,
Absolutely.
And it was down in Australia. And then, gone to a couple of shows since then, and Stefan's been really cool. And I remember Chino used to call me Gangnam Style every time he saw me. He used to be like, hey, Gangnam Style. And I was just like, what's up,
God.
man?
Oh my God.
Because that was back in 2012 or 2013 when I toured with him.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that would just be his greeting for me. And I was like, dude, Chino, you can call me whatever you want, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But that's a band that would be like, man, just try to do like Chi Cheng justice.
I say hit up Chino on Instagram, bro. Like, yo, what's up?
Right?
It's Gangnam Style. How you doing? I'm playing bass right now. How you doing?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I've heard. I can't say anything because I'm not gonna. I've heard rumors of what or who may step in, but I was talking about the whole situation because my friends were like, well, "What do you think happened?" I'm like, I don't know, man. I mean, Deftones seems to be becoming like a machine, like they're pumping out beers, they're pumping out tequilas, they're pumping out, weed products. Like it's a thing
great
now.
brand, yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. And you look at like Slipknot, like that's a machine. That tour package is like 128 people,
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So, if one of the things is there's something's going on or some kind of conflict at this point, they just buy, we'll find someone else,
Of course.
I don't know what the deal is. I don't know inside info on what happened between, like, I just know whatever Sergio said on his Instagram, but yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I couldn't imagine a scenario where I would be like, no, I think I'll pass on playing for the Deftones. Like, what?
Yeah, right. No, and man, I'm so out of the loop with anything current that's happening in the music scene. Like, I think I'm like that old man who's like, I wouldn't even know.
Listening to new bands? Is that what you're telling me right now?
No, not necessarily, but I mean, at least, I'm not keeping up with like a lot of metal bands. Like, I mean, one of the bands that the two bands that I really love right now that are definitely not metal are bands like, Duran Jones and Indications, and like a band from Houston called Khruangbin, and like, which is like not metal at all. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I should do a little bit more research.
Okay. Well, you're not opposed to it, is what you're saying.
Oh no, definitely not. I don't know. I guess I love what I love, as much of an old timer quote as that may be. But yeah, I should take more time to listen to newer bands, because I know there's good stuff out there. Oh, please!
I get 1,000 emails a day from PR people pitching their bands, so I mean, there's stuff I don't even get to anymore. I can't. There's no time. But I definitely check out. I know a lot about what bands are doing stuff because I have all the emails. It's a good problem to have. I'm not complaining at all. I'm just saying, if you need new music, I got you.
Please send it on over. Send it on over.
Have you always been this way? Like, because I know some people, when they're in the process of learning music, learning to play live shows, or trying to get prepared to write a new album or something, they try not to listen to anything because they don't want to get influenced. But I kind of feel the opposite. I'm always like, I want to get influenced. Like, give me some ideas,
Yeah. I mean, I think, as far as like me being a musician, I'm not opposed to like getting like, gaining new like insight, or like being influenced by up and comers. I guess one of the newest bands that I love is Obscura. The bass player, don't know his name, but he's like an absolute beast. But no, I'll say this, like, I don't see myself like being drawn to, like, I don't think I would be that guy who does playthrough videos and, is like, I say that now. Like, or going out there to like kind of measure myself in public, You're not gonna have
a booth at NAMM, dude? You should have a booth at NAMM.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, at the end of the day, I miss playing, and I love playing, and especially with good people. And, I'll definitely with the protest stuff, I am improving my skills for sure. But no, I'm not opposed to getting influence at all. I don't know much more to say to that.
Is there any song right now that's giving you like a hard time that you've had to like kind of do over and over, or like any kind of pattern, or are you falling back into like riding a bike with the Human Abstract stuff? Because the Human Abstract stuff is super complex as well. So it's like, it's not that you're not used to that style.
Yeah. So that's funny you mentioned that. So Cam, who recorded a lot of the stuff off the new album for Protest, and he actually did the Pacific Myth stuff, and he's toured with Protest for a while now. He recorded and that dude's like so freaking talented, like, and he's an amazing audio engineer. But I hit him up and I was just like, hey man, like, dude, what the frig are you doing with, like, cause I got the stems right for the new material, and I was like, what the hell are you doing, dude? Like, and he just laughed. He was like, oh man, like, and he gave me some good advice. He was like, dude, like, honestly, like, I had months and months and months to sit there with like the guitar stems and just, he was like, sit there in my boxers and just like learned and wrote stuff for the bass, and he's like, dude, he's like, that some of that stuff is not going to translate well live, right? And he was correct, and again, this is me coming from like being trained by like AJ Minette, who's rightfully so a perfectionist when someone's that talented, and and I'm grateful for what I learned, but I had to step back for a moment and be like, you know what, like, yeah, maybe this kid, or maybe the audience is not going to really care about these like triplet or whatever tapping parts, live, is it going to do justice to the song,
Right.
So, yeah, like the newer stuff for not to give away the set list, but the newer stuff, is complicated, but like, I'm having like fun, like really like dissecting it. And again, I'm looking at it as like, yo, this is going to make you like a really, really good bass player. Take you to that next level.
Yeah.
The Fortress stuff is actually like fun to play, stuff off of Volition, and that's not giving hints, but it's just stuff off of Volition is also a lot of fun. I mean, those guys, like, as I was considering myself a fan of the band as well, of course. Their writing style and like the way they put together the music, and if you like really separate each part of the band, it's like man, like it's great, and it's a lot of fun to play, and so I would say like the newer stuff is a little complicated, but I'm having fun learning it, and it's not going to be an issue. It's just taking more time with it,
Hell yeah, you got this, man. Like I said, the stuff for Human Abstract is nuts, and like talking about guitar players that can have a booth at NAMM but don't is like AJ. You mentioned, like, my God.
Yeah, AJ and Dean. I mean, Dean. Yeah,
both of them. Yeah, they're both beasts. Yeah. They should be doing way more, I think, with what they. I mean, they're happy. That's fine, but I feel like they're both should be at the very top of the stratosphere in terms of guitar players.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely, 100%. And I keep in contact with those guys, and I love them. And
we all saw each other kind of recently at what was it, Mastodon and Opeth?
And Opeth, yeah.
Who was the opener? Oh, it was Zeal and Ardor, but I missed it.
Same. I got there. I got there right when Mastodon went on.
Oh. Yeah. So you didn't see Opeth, or Opeth was after?
No, Opeth was the headliner. Yeah.
I forgot. But yeah, I remember seeing, it was all three of us, and it's so funny how we've reunited on the West Coast after, all our time in Florida and that East Coast run. Like, I remember moving out here, and one of the first things we did was go to Brett's New Year's Eve party. You were all there at his apartment.
Was that up in that loft?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a loft, but it was a building in the middle of like downtown LA, and we went all the way to the top. Was that like 100 pounds lighter? What do you mean? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe.
No, this was a little joke, but yeah, it was like the top of a building, and I think AJ was there, so was Travis. I think Alex from Necrogalicon was there. I think that was it.
Yeah, it was a small group. It was a small group. But we were dealing with, there was craziness, because I remember people were coming in, knocking, thinking that we were another party. Remember that? Or people were coming up for a party?
Dude, if that's the night I'm remembering, the day after was a train wreck. So excuse me if I don't remember much. But
well, I'm thinking actually. Now that I remember it clearly, now it was that somebody had put an event for a New Year's Eve party, and they had put Brett's address, and people were coming in to like knock to. They thought it was a New Year's Eve party, open invitation that they had on Facebook.
Yeah.
All night there was like 4 or 5 different groups of people, big groups of people, and they were like, "It's not here, man." They're like, "But there's a party happening. We see it." They're like, "Yeah, but it's not that party."
Yeah, but this is not the one. This is not the one. Yeah,
a different party, guys. Jeez.
Yeah, because when did you move out to California?
It was like 5 years ago, maybe. Yeah, about 5 or 6 years ago. I don't remember anymore. I'm hoping to be here longer than I was in Florida. We'll see what happens. Florida, I can't believe Florida. I was there for like 20-something years. Like, it's craziness. I don't know why I did that with my life.
Yeah, the last time I saw you was you and Rue came out to the Culture Room, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think I forgot what show.
Protest show.
Yeah,
because we hung out with Protest. I think Battle Cross.
Yes.
And one other band I don't remember.
Now. We drank and we went out to the Irish bar across the parking lots. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
We've done quite a lot of drinking together. I still remember the beach party with Flor de Caña that I've traumatized you for life with.
Well, we were hanging out with one of my girlfriend's friends like a couple weekends ago, and the homie is from Florida, or he lived in Florida for a while, and I was telling him about that story of us like in South Beach, where we went to Wet Willie's, I think.
Oh yeah.
And I got like, I forgot what I got. I think it was called the Superman or something.
Superman. Yeah.
Yeah, but of course, like all it is like sugar and alcohol, right?
It's grain alcohol.
Yeah. I just remember like the guys telling me later on like that I was trying to cuss at cops and that I got taken to a pizza place and they were like bouncing a ball off my head and I was like knocked out. And then I got taken to the van and like I think I threw up in the back seat of the van and then went back to sleep. But yeah, that all started because we went to Publix to buy a bottle of Flor de Caña. And that's how it started.
Yeah, I'm a bad influence, man. It's fine. That whole thing. Like, I remember you guys lost the singer. Was it Nathan at the time?
Oh, yeah.
He disappeared. We couldn't find him. He walked back to the band house. I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Sure. Yeah, no comment on that.
No comment.
I wish I could say that was the only time that happened, but no, Yeah. Yeah, man. And then I think didn't you come up to, I think, Orlando, or what was like that weird hot show somewhere that Human Abstract played?
Oh, West Palm Beach at the Pit.
West Palm Beach, Florida.
Yeah.
It was like this fucking hole in the wall, and it was like a fucking sauna in the venue.
It was terrible. It was so
hot. Opened up the window, and there was like so much steam coming out.
Yeah, we were drenched in sweat, just standing outside to go in. The show hadn't even started.
Yeah,
I remember that. That show was with Let Live. I remember that was a good night.
This is the Apocalypse, Scale of the Summit.
Yeah, Scale of the Summit. I remember that. That's where I met Jordan.
12 years ago. No, 11 years ago.
Wow, really?
Yeah, 11 years ago.
Yeah, that's where I met Jordan. He's now with Contortionists. I haven't talked to him in a while, but it's crazy to see like Jason's success with like Fever and everything that he's doing. Man, he's blowing up.
Dude, yeah, and that guy deserves it. Like, dude, he's such a great dude. Every time I see him, he's just definitely, yeah, definitely, man. And then Eric as well. I mean, Eric was filling in on the drums for Let Live, that one tour we did with Let Live and Deftones.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then, of course, he has Night Versus, and, that band's doing well. And then, of course, now with Fever, it's like dudes that deserve to, like, be up there, like, just are and are getting the success. Like, that makes me all so happy, It's like, those guys, like, work their, butts off to be where they're at, So Absolutely. It's good to see that their success is like paying off, or it's they have it.
And it's happening to a lot of people, man. Like even you right now, dude. Like most of my friends that I stay in contact with that are trying to do something are succeeding. They're getting shit. They're getting gigs. They're getting more and more attention. Like you're now going to be. This is going to be big for you, man. I mean, Protest is a big band. And like I said, who knows is in the crowd and then be like, hey, we need a bass player. What's up?
For sure. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I just, I guess I take it as each day that it comes. And, but yeah, I mean, I appreciate that because, again, I'm so looking forward to be back on stage, and especially with, brothers that I know and I've loved and have spent so much time with, and finally, being and playing with them, because, again, like I, consider those guys family, and it means a lot to be back on stage with them, or to be on stage with them and then be finally back on stage after a long time of not playing. So, I appreciate it and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, dude, I'm very happy for you. I'm happy that things are working out like this, and hopefully many more blessings come your way. In the meantime, if people want to follow you on social media and keep track of what you're doing and your whole adventure with Protest, what's the best option? Where are you posting? TikTok videos? Yeah. I stopped doing synchronized dancing, in videos, but okay.
Yeah. Now I'm just doing videos, annoying my girlfriend. So, no, I'm kidding. I don't use TikTok for that.
No,
but
I want to know what he uses it for. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Cat videos.
Yeah, I mean, if people want to follow my progress and see the journey, and it's just Hank Selva, HENK SELVA, on Instagram. And yeah, I mean, it's going to get more exciting once I'm back on the road. But yeah, man, drop a line, say hello. So.
Yeah, keep track. I mean, Protest is great. If you haven't heard Protest the Hero, I don't know what you're waiting for, but prog metal deliciousness. Also, if you haven't heard the Human Abstract, highly recommended. I mean, I show that to people that don't even listen to metal, and they're like, this is classical music, but with electric guitars and really low growls, because it just, the composition and everything it's so great. So go check it out. Follow Hank. Support. Go see them live when they come. Are they doing an LA show?
Protest? No, everything is just the Canadian tour that's coming up, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So if you're watching and you're from like the Ontario or Quebec provinces, then definitely come out and say what's up. And,
I do have some listeners. Shout out to Canadians in Quebec and all that. Like they, big wrestling fans. So I've gotten a few of them on my side.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And, yeah, man, well, that's next week, right? So I'll be seeing you next weekend.
We'll be hanging next week at 1720. I'm going to go see Circle 6. It's a brand new company debuting their wrestling show at 1720, so it should be a fun time. I'll be there. Yeah,
definitely.
Well, hey, man, thanks again for joining me. Good seeing you as always and getting to catch up a little bit.
Oh, dude, yeah, this is great. I appreciate it. And, yeah, man, it's, long time coming, and I'm finally happy to say that we did this, so.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, take care. We'll see each other next week, man. Cheers.
For sure, man. Have a good night.